Hello student, I am Mayur Gondalia and you are watching School of Physics. Students, today we will learn about Fourier integral in trigonometric form. Let a function is defined like this, and if we consider interval minus pi to pi, then we found that nature of the signal in interval minus pi pi is not repeated in interval pi to 3 pi, 2 pi to 4 pi and so on, and on either side in interval minus pi to minus 3 pi, minus 2 pi to minus 4 pi and so on. If we take interval minus 2 pi to 2 pi or minus 3 pi to 3 pi or minus 4 pi to 4 pi and so on for given function, though no periodicity is found. Therefore, it is called non-periodic function. So, we consider this function consists in interval minus infinite to infinite and it is absolutely integrable over it. If f(x) is non-periodic function, then it cannot be represented as a Fourier series. However, we can represent it as an Fourier integral form. In this video, we will derive Fourier integral in trigonometric form. Let a function f(x) be defined in an infinite interval minus infinite to infinite and absolutely integrable over it, that is integration minus infinite to infinite modulus of f of x dx less than infinite, say equation 1. Further, let the function f(x) be such that it is expandable into a Fourier series in any interval minus L to L, that is f(x) equal to a0 by 2 plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity a n cos n pi x upon L plus summation n equal to 1 to infinity b n sin n pi x upon L, say equation 2, where a0 equal to 1 upon L integral minus L to L f(x) dx, a n equal to 1 upon L integral minus L to L f(x) cos n pi x upon L dx and b n equal to 1 upon L integral minus L to L f(x) sin n pi x upon L dx. To remove complication in description, take x equal to t in coefficients. Therefore, a0 equal to 1 upon L integral minus L to L f t dt, a n equal to 1 upon L integral minus L to L f t cos n pi t upon L dt and b n equal to 1 upon L integral minus L to L f t sin n pi t upon L dt. Substituting these values of the coefficients into equation 2, we have f(x) equal to, here we put the value of a0, a n and b n. We rewrite this equation. Therefore, f(x) equal to 1 upon t L integral minus L to L f t dt plus 1 upon L summation n equal to 1 to infinite integral minus L to L f t into bracket cos n pi t upon L cos n pi x upon L plus sin n pi t upon L sin n pi x upon L bracket over into dt. Here we make rearrangement of the terms. Using trigonometric formula, cos a cos b plus sin a sin b equal to cos of a minus b. In our formula, a equal to n pi t upon L and b equal to n pi x upon L. Therefore, f(x) equal to 1 upon 2 L integral minus L to L f t dt plus 1 upon L summation n equal to 1 to infinity integral minus L to L f t into cos of n pi t upon L minus n pi x upon L dt, which is equal to 1 upon 2 L integral minus L to L f t dt plus 1 upon L summation n equal to 1 to infinity integral minus L to L f t cos n pi into t minus x upon L into dt, say equation 3. Now, we introduce the notations alpha 1 equal to pi upon L, alpha 2 equal to 2 pi upon L, alpha 3 equal to 3 pi upon L, and alpha n equal to n pi upon L, and delta alpha n equal to pi upon L, say equation 4. And therefore, 1 upon L equal to delta alpha n upon pi. Putting these values in equation 3, we get f x equal to this. Here, we put delta alpha n upon pi for 1 upon L. Also, we take alpha n for this n pi upon L, equation 5. In this equation 5, as L tends to infinity, the first term approaches to 0. From equation 4, we say that for any fixed L, the expression in the parenthesis is a function of alpha n, and alpha n have values from pi upon L to infinity. We show that the function f x is piecewise monotonic on every finite interval, is bounded on an infinite interval and satisfies condition in equation 1. Then, as L tends to infinity, summation converts into integral and take alpha n equal to alpha and delta alpha n equal to d alpha. Therefore, equation 5 takes the form f x equal to 1 upon pi integral 0 to infinity into integral minus infinity to infinity into f of t cos alpha into t minus x dt into d alpha, say equation 6. This equation occurs for all points where the function is continuous. At points where f x is discontinuous, the left side of equation 6 will be replaced by the average of the left and right limits of function f of x at x. Now, applying trigonometric relations cos of a minus b equal to cos a cos b plus sin a sin b, equation 6 becomes f x equal to 1 upon pi integral 0 to infinity integral minus infinity to infinity f of t into bracket cos alpha t cos alpha x plus sin alpha t sin alpha x bracket over into dt into d alpha. Separating cosine and sine terms, f x equal to 1 upon pi integral 0 to infinity into bracket integral minus infinity to infinity f t cos alpha t dt bracket over cos alpha x d alpha plus 1 upon pi integral 0 to infinity into bracket integration minus infinity to infinity f of t sin alpha t dt bracket over sin alpha x d alpha. Therefore, f x equal to integral 0 to infinity into bracket a alpha cos alpha x plus b alpha sin alpha x bracket over into d alpha, say equation 7, where a alpha equal to 1 upon pi integral minus infinite to infinite f t cos alpha t dt and b alpha equal to 1 upon pi integral minus infinity to infinity f t sin alpha t dt. Now, we recall to the original variable x in place of t. Therefore, a alpha equal to 1 upon pi integral minus infinite to infinite f of x cos alpha x dx and b alpha equal to 1 upon pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x sin alpha x dx. Equation 7 is known as Fourier integral. Now, we take particular cases. Consider function f x is even, therefore, f x cos alpha x is even, and therefore, a alpha equal to 2 upon pi integral 0 to infinity f of x cos alpha x dx and f x sin alpha x is odd, therefore, b alpha equal to 0. If we put these values in equation 7, then it becomes f x equal to 2 upon pi integral 0 to infinity into bracket integral 0 to infinity fx cos alpha x dx bracket over cos alpha x d alpha. This is known as Fourier cosine integral. Now consider fx is odd, therefore fx cos alpha x is odd, and therefore a alpha equal to 0, and fx sin alpha x is even. Therefore, b alpha equal to 2 upon pi integral 0 to infinity f of x sin alpha x dx. If we put these values in equation 7, then fx equal to 2 upon pi integral 0 to infinity into bracket integral 0 to infinity f of x sin alpha x dx bracket over into sin alpha x d alpha. This is known as Fourier sine integral. In next video, we will learn about Fourier integral in complex form. Please write your suggestion in comment box. Like and share this video and subscribe my YouTube channel School of Physics.